Hello and welcome to this tutorial video. My name is Ian Green from enjgreenpiano.com, and it is a pleasure to be with you today. Today we're going to be speaking about a very interesting topic, which is really quite an important one. It's related to practicing. And why is practicing important? Now, not only is practicing important, but how much should we practice? What kinds of things within the practice routine are suggested? And so, this is a fairly common question that is really important to speak about for a few minutes. So, what we're going to do today is go to a short presentation that I've put together outlining some details of just some certain routines that I personally offer as a teacher to students that are common knowledge, but also really helpful for just getting organized with all the different details that come within practicing a musical instrument. Now, these details not only apply to the piano, which is the primary instrument that I teach and enjoy playing, but also can be applicable to any instrument and any musical discipline or any style or way of playing. So, in general, how many minutes should we set practice? Should we practice for half an hour a day? In general, a successful practice routine includes regular review, and this routine is then created. In some cases, practicing for many hours just before the next lesson might help for a little while, but the approach might not work in the long run. In general, practicing on a regular basis is most important. And so instead of thinking about how many minutes we should practice, it's always good to think about how many times a week are you able to practice. Now, of course, every week is different. Some weeks, if we're a student in school, we might have tests or exams or other responsibilities. Or if we're working, we might have a busy job where we might have to travel a bit or do other things. So, but the important thing is to be realistic as well about how much time we would like to spend at it and to try our best to spend regular amounts of time on a regular basis. Sometimes this might mean creating a schedule with a certain block of time to practice, like in the evening after dinner or in the morning, or other sometimes that you might find convenient. But the most important thing is to practice uh, more than just once a week. So the ideal number of times to practice, at least from a teacher's perspective, looking at the progress of students, is 4 to 5 times. This is a nice mix so that there are a couple of days where you can take off, but at the same time, most of the week we're working on materials on a regular basis. You can think of it like exercise as kind of a discipline. Um, Consistent review also helps to create what is known as deep learning pathways, which basically means learning and remembering patterns and recognizing aspects of pieces of music so that things become familiar. So, when we think about physical activity, such as exercise or playing a sport, it's of course not healthy to expect to be able to run a marathon at our first outing just by purchasing a new pair of shoes and putting them on and going to run. It's important to take things in stride and to work at musical activities on a regular basis in order to build endurance. So for young children, what is most important is, if possible, to have a parent or a guardian to sit with the child while practicing during the week. This helps, especially for very young students who are still learning to read, because then this helps make the practice sessions fun by following the instructions of the teacher, and also it creates a nice way to be engaged and also collaborative in the piano practice or music practice activities. Um, Something else that's important is to have a nice mix between review pieces and new pieces, while also following the instructions that the teacher has provided in their lesson planner or practice sheet of whichever form that they use to create the assignments for the weekly practice routine. So, some suggestions about how to practice and what to do each day. Of course, it's important to practice our favorite pieces, but just like any healthy diet, it's important to have a variety of different things to eat instead of just one type of food. So here are some um, helpful things that I encourage all the students to work on. And of course, some things might be more favored than others, but it's important to really have that healthy diet of different activities. Now, of course, the first thing is warm ups. Just like when we play a sport, you want to stretch before you start to play the sport. You want to stretch your hands and do certain technical exercises, which might include scales or broken chords, finger exercises, whichever works for whichever level the student is in. And next, it's always fun to have at least a couple of review pieces that are fun to play and that are enjoyable to perform to help warm up the fingers and also get the mind sharp for the new learning that also will be taking place. New repertoire is also fun because this helps with motivation. Of course, it's important to learn something new at each lesson. And sometimes this might mean a new piece, it might mean a new part of a piece. And so there's always, it's good to have something new that's can be worked on and practiced to help get those pathways working so that the neurons are connecting and helping the music to make sense. Sometimes something new might even be to look at a particular piece of music, but use it as an exercise for something else, and just to always have something new and exciting to work on. Sight reading is also important, and usually, depending on the student, sometimes sight reading can be put in at the earlier part of the practice session. These ideas are shared kind of in a not really in specific order, but just these are certain things that we can include. So sometimes students like to complete their sight reading materials in advance of playing more difficult technical songs just to help warm up the body and the mind. However, it is important to recognize that sight reading is a hugely important part of the learning process. Music is created through patterns and also is a wonderful language. And there are many resources and activities to follow to encourage students to enjoy reading music and seeing things that are brand new. Now, in the description of this particular tutorial, I can be happy to put in some different resources that I find helpful that are fun and engaging for most students of all levels. Theory is also an important aspect of the musical journey. And theory can be organized into written theory or applied theory, such as chording or improvisation. And it's important because there are different pathways that connect music ideas together when writing things down on paper or when playing them on your instrument. And sometimes this helps to spark creativity, and sometimes students who might not recognize themselves as being composers might find that interest and that gift by working on the theory. And improvisation is also fun. Now, this task can sometimes be a barrier for certain musicians or for teachers, and it might not feel like a comfortable topic. But, however, at the same time, there are wonderful resources that are available to us that assist with improvisation at any level. And the materials are really well laid out. And I've included these materials in the description for this video as well. So that is the end of the presentation today. And I hope you had some fun and learned a few new things. And these are ideas that I've tried out and tested over the last many years of teaching and have found that they really work. Of course, there's a lot of material here that um, is it just might feel like a lot, but at the same time, using a lot of this material helps to create a healthy musical learning environment and a healthy and engaging opportunity for students to continue to practice. My name is Ian Green. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to this channel and like this video and enjoy upcoming videos as well. Thank you so much and have a great day. Take care and have fun practicing.